The Society of Petroleum Engineers presents SPE Tech Talk. Today's Tech Talk is brought to you by TETRA.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us for this SPE Tech Talk with TETRA. I'm your host for this broadcast, Carol Nachli. On this episode, we will take a deep dive into TETRA's cutting-edge automated flowback capabilities, which is revolutionizing the oil field. We'll also showcase this technology's role in enhancing operational performance, as well as provide a rundown of the key benefits of automation. And finally, we'll discover how automation is reshaping flowback operations for a safer and more efficient future. As always, one great way to interact with today's broadcast is to let us know where you are watching from and to share your opinions on today's topic. If you have a question for our guest today, type it in the comment section on LinkedIn or SPE Energy Stream for a chance our guest will answer during our Q&A segment. Now, before we get started with our discussion, let's take a look at today's poll question. How are you currently quantifying your sand returns? Very simple, 3 answers. A, automated technology, B, manual operations, or C, currently not quantifying sand returns. Simply type in your answer on LinkedIn or Energy Stream, and we'll take a look at the results later in the show. Now let's get started and introduce our guest. Joining us today from Midland, Texas, is Travis Bahrt, Regional Manager for Production Testing and Fluence with TETRA. In his current role, Travis serves as the manager of TETRA's flowback and completion fluids business lines in the central US. Prior to his position, he oversaw TETRA's Appalachian flowback operations, gaining extensive experience in post-fracture flowback processes across various shale plays. While working closely with the company's engineering team, Travis has played a key role in the development of TETRA's advanced lineup of automated solutions. Hello, Travis, and welcome to SPE Tech Talk.
Hello, thank you for having me. Look forward to the conversation today.
Me too, and I'm sure our audience are also looking forward to learning from you. So let's begin our discussion with me asking you to provide an overview of TETRA's automated capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely, I can do that. So I think it is important to kind of take a little step back and understand, why we have focused on the areas that we have focused on to deploy automation in today's age of flowback. So really, when we look at it, we've deployed automation in 2 key areas. One of those being the sand management area, removing that sand from the flow stream, and then also on the frac plug drill out side of things. Both these areas were historically are areas that we have historically seen higher rates of exposure and higher rates of incidents. To reduce those higher rates of exposure and incidents, we are looking at taking automated services and replacing manual operations with automated operations. So when we look at the sand management side of things, that's where we've deployed our automated flushing units. So we do have two multiple configurations there, 2 main configurations there, a single source configuration that is widely adaptable across pad configurations and is actually integrated into our patented TETRA Sandstorm technology. It's integrated into that piece of equipment. And then also the multi-source units that we're deploying. These units can handle up to 6 wells per skid and really show an economical advantage to our customers when we start to see those wells per pad increase. Both of these units can be paired with our automated rotating weigh basket, which is another piece of automation that we have deployed. This is a fully autonomous weighing system that really removes any individual from having to, climb onto a tank and weigh sand. Switching gears over to kind of the frac plug drill out side of things, we have deployed our patented TETRA automated drill out system. That's really replacing manual operations of conventional jump catchers and choke manifolds to achieve a closed loop drill out process. We do this by utilizing a valve sequencing process to redirect flow back through our jump catcher and flush those plug pieces to a collection area on a tank. This piece of equipment can also be paired with our rotating weigh basket, and has been paired with our rotating weigh basket if that plug weight is a desired data field from our customer.
Well, from what you said, I already can see lots of benefits and advantages, and I would like to play perhaps the devil's advocate later on during the Q&A. But let me have a follow-up question on what you said. Just tell us about the benefits of automation to an operator from using the technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main one that not only is a benefit to our operators, but also a benefit to us here at TETRA is that reduced HSE exposure. Just how I kind of mentioned before, these are manual processes that we're replacing here, specifically on the sand flushing side of things. When we look at that, in that manual operation, it requires an employee to enter a hazardous environment, grab a metal bar, stick it into a valve, and open that valve. On the other side of that valve is sometimes very high pressure areas, 2, 5, 6,000 pounds in some of our operating areas that our employees are having to open these valves against. Not only do our employees have to do this manual task, but they also have to do this standing and working around flow lines that are really seeing the most erosive environments from all flow lines that are on that location. These flow lines are exposed to a very high concentration of sand and abrasive fluid, and sometimes as often as every 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that we're removing the sand from that flow stream. Once that sand is removed from the main flow stream, we do need to quantify those sand volumes. So in a manual operation, quantifying those sand volumes requires an employee to climb on top of a tank, retrieve a sand-loaded filter sock that's in some sort of apparatus, and then weigh that sock. Obviously, there's multiple points of concern when we have employees working at heights on top of an open-top tank where there's produced water and residual hydrocarbons there as well. On the frac drill out side of things, really, as we look at that manual operation, if anyone's familiar with the conventional flowback operations on frac plug drill outs, it's extremely labor intensive, and not only are employees needing to work around pressurized lines, but also that concentrated abrasive fluid is present as well. During this operation, they're having to manually hammer off and pull a metal basket filled with plug parts, chemicals, and sand, which obviously can carry multiple issues there.
So if I were to sum up what you said, like in terms of the couple of benefits, I'm thinking about cost reductions, improving safety for all the ones who are involved in this procedure, and also accuracy, I would say. Did I get that right if I were to group them under the 3 main headlines?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when we look at the operational efficiency and cost reduction side of things, on the increased visibility and into the real-time operations that we're allowing operators to gain by this automated equipment. All of our automated systems operate inside of our TETRA BlueLinx platform. This allows operators to, in real time, see every aspect of that flowback operation that is being completed with automation. Armed with this data and visibility, our operators can make more concise decisions around their flowback operations. Obviously, anytime that's present, that leads to cost reductions on labor, equipment, and other aspects of that flowback stage. Our automation also allows operators to be more efficient with their manpower, just as it allows us to be more efficient with our manpower. And I think, as most people are experiencing right now, recruiting and retaining qualified staff is extremely challenging in today's workforce. So that automation allows both the operator and service provider to be more efficient with our workforces and reduce the need for more employees conducting these manual operations.
I think some employees might get worried by that, but we can discuss it shortly. Travis, before we continue our discussion, I'd like to pause just a little bit and remind our audience to get involved in the conversation. Type in any comment or question you have on today's topic now. For a chance, our guest will answer it during our upcoming Q&A segment. Now, again, going back to you, Travis, and to our conversation, what are the benefits of automation to operator, such as operation efficiencies and cost reduction, which we discussed a little bit earlier? But maybe you can just give us a brief snapshot on the main benefits that you have seen from dealing with your clients.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think, other than the HSE exposure, cost reduction, everything that we've highlighted before, some really ancillary benefits that we are seeing is because we are gathering so much data with the automated systems that we are deploying. It's allowing us to move more towards an automated reporting structure. Previously in manual operations, we've had employees that have to, go out and walk around, grab multiple data points off of multiple pieces of equipment. Because we are automating all this equipment right now, that's all being able to be done through automation and digitally. So obviously that transmits that allows us to be a lot more efficient with the people that are on location, and also the time that it takes to get this data to the operators. The other ancillary benefit we're seeing is around velocity management and erosion control. So due to the automation kind of removing the human aspect of these operations, we're able to control the parameters in which we remove the sand. And not only are we able to control those parameters, but we're also able to repeat this process every single time. So, in a manual operation, an individual walks out, opens that valve, opens a choke, and really he's the one that's controlling how fast do we move that sand out of that sand trap or out of that vessel, depending on how far he opens that choke. Depending on how far he opens that choke can lead to an overly erosive environment, which then leads to premature erosion and a multitude of safety issues. Because we're automating that process and it's a repeatable process, we're able to remove that sand at the same rate and understand the velocity that it takes to move that sand, and really prolonging the lifespan of our consumable equipment.
Thanks, Travis. Actually, I would like to follow on this issue you mentioned earlier, the labor-intensive aspect. So if you were somebody working in that field, does this mean I'm going to lose my job?
No, not at all. So the way TETRA is looking at it is this allows us to invest more in our employees and develop our employees more, right? And as we change kind of the way that we're doing flowback, we're changing with our employees, and we're developing our employees to understand this technology and operate this technology.
So if I were in this field, my job would be safe. Okay, I can now sleep better.
Absolutely.
I think it's time to answer some questions from our audience, and there are quite a few in front of me that I would like to discuss with you. Maybe some we already covered, but there is no harm in revisiting them. Okay. Let's start with the first one, Travis. What ancillary benefits are we seeing from automated systems?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So like I mentioned, the erosion control and then the automated reporting are the two major ones that we're seeing and really benefiting from. Our operators are being able to get this data in more real time and more, just like I said with the erosion control, more repeatable. It takes away a lot of the human errors that sometimes come with reporting. An extra zero on a data report going to engineers and different people at our operators sometimes create a lot of issues. So being able to remove the human error, human aspect of these issues really help us in the long run and help operators in the long run.
Before I continue with the questions from the audience, I'd like to revisit our poll question just to get your reaction to that and whether we're hoping to see maybe a different outcome by the end of this broadcast. So earlier, we asked our audience whether they are currently quantifying sand returns. And there were three options: A, automated technology, manual operations, or currently not quantifying sand returns. And the majority went for C. Does this come as a surprise, or was it an expected result, and do you see it changing in the coming years?
Yeah, no, absolutely expect it. And that is kind of the way of the past, is what we're seeing with a lot of our operators, right? Is when we ask them how are they quantifying it, a lot of old flowback reports, you'll see light, medium, or heavy, medium trace. And everyone's heavy, medium trace when it comes to a sand volume is a little bit different. When we can actually quantify and put a number behind what light, medium, and trace looks like, and then we're actually getting real data and valuable data to the operator.
Thank you, Travis. I have a couple of questions also coming now. The first one from Amin. He's asking, is a multi-phase meter being used to measure sand production? And if yes, how efficient is it compared to other techniques?
Yeah, so we are currently not using a multi-phase meter to measure the sand production. What we're currently doing is utilizing our rotating wave basket to actually pull that sand out of the flow stream, send it to our rotating wave basket, which utilizes load sensors to weigh that sand and drain the water off the sand, weigh that sand, and then capture that sand rate. With the erosive environment that we've seen in a lot of our shale plays here in North America, multi-phase meters have become a little bit problematic on our side with the erosive environments.
Great. We have another question from Eric Rigo, this time on Energy Stream. During flowback, what specific parameters are you currently capturing real time? Oh, sorry, are you currently capturing real time?
Yep. No, great question. So that's very customizable, right? So depending on what sort of automation and what automation equipment we're deploying to location, that'll change what parameters we're capturing. But as kind of a baseline, I'll just say, wellhead pressures, sand return rates through our rotating wave basket, gas rates, water rates, oil rates, spot rates, temperatures. As I said, it can pretty much anything that you can quantify, we are able to automate and quantify and capture those parameters.
That is fascinating. Travis, let me pick another question here about primarily the operating areas where TETRA is currently utilizing automation. Can you give us an idea about what are those areas?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'd say in North America, we're pretty much in all of the major basins right now with automation, except for the Rockies. So here where I sit in the Permian, we have a pretty large footprint on our automated sand flushing technology. A little bit down in South Texas in the Eagle Ford, and then up in Appalachia, where really our automated drill out skid has kind of taken hold and really changed the drill out game in the Appalachia region, along with some automated sand management up there as well. But going outside of North America, also Argentina is a big market for us with our automated flushing technology.
Do you have anything, let's say, or are you contemplating areas such as the Middle East, for instance, or outside those two areas that you identified, or that is not being contemplated at the moment?
No, absolutely. Absolutely working towards getting automated equipment into the Middle East, very large market that we're extremely excited about.
Thanks, Travis. How long has TETRA been building automated flowback solutions?
Yeah, so really our automated journey, I will say, started in 2019 with several different pilot tests and models, and really we've seen rapid growth in the demand for automation over, I'd say, the last 24 to 36 months. So we did go through, it started in 2019, but I would say 2021, 2022, we went through a pretty large exercise company-wide to understand the need and the demand and what fits the market the best. And that's really what we have come to finalize our solutions that we're currently offering as our production go-forth models, and really started producing them at a production level in about 2022.
So it's quite impressive what you did in a relatively short period of time. We discussed earlier the issue of reducing labor intensity. And maybe if you can give us a bit of more idea about the kind of manpower reductions that operators are seeing from implementing automation.
Yep. So let's say that definitely changed depending on the level of automation that our operators are implementing. Across the board, I would say averaging right around 30% manpower reductions if there's some sort of automation on location. We have some operators that have went and gained manpower reductions up into the 75-80% range, just with really taking a couple extra steps to automate several aspects of their flowback operations. They're able to really achieve significant gains in manpower reduction.
So hold on, if I got that right, it's 75 to 80% reduction. Wow,
Correct.
That's quite impressive in terms of also reducing, and what does that translate in terms of cost reduction as well? And do we see it straight away, or it takes time to achieve those rates?
Yeah, no, right away. Obviously, the initial setup, right? There's still some manpower requirements there to take this equipment out and get it set up and get it operating. But as we have it operated, we're able to really run majority of this equipment remotely through that BlueLinx platform. So our in-house automation techs can sit here at our office in Midland or our other offices across the operating areas and watch that operation happen real time, and not only watch the operation, but also troubleshoot if there is an issue. So the need to have someone on location waiting for an issue to happen is gone. We're able to do that here. Our automation techs then are armed with the information and that they need to fix or get the equipment back online, so they can grab the pieces and parts here and make one trip to location and fix it, reducing downtime.
And one question from me before I have one more question from the audience I'd like to ask, but I'd like to take my position here as the moderator and then ask you the following. So if we were to implement the technology today, how easy it is for people, let's say in an organization, a company, to get accustomed to executing and implementing it efficiently? So what is the time scale that you have for your customers?
I would say very quickly. We're able to deploy this technology, and with as little as one email, get our customers a link where they can see exactly what's happening on location at that exact time. Obviously, there is some comforts around having a person on location and knowing that there's a person there to help with incidents and issues like that. So that I would say that would be more of a personal basis, that it in their ability to get comfortable with not having someone there or having reduced personnel there in some aspects. But every operator that we've taken this to, we haven't added manpower back. So over the course of normally the first job, they get comfortable with the technology and they continue to reduce manpower even further.
Thanks, Trevor. So one last question before we wrap up, unless something else comes up very quickly. But if you give us an indication about the percentage of TETRA's customer base that is currently using automated technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk specifically about flowback automation, right now across all of our operating areas, we're at roughly 40% of our our customers are utilizing automated technology, which is kind of goes hand in hand with the poll question there and how that was answered. That there's several people and several operators out there that still are not quantifying sand returns, and we see that as an opportunity. And hopefully, this chat here opens some people's eyes to the options that are out there, and we can pursue those options.
So we should definitely repeat this broadcast and ask the same question maybe by the end of the year and see whether the answers will change. And I hope they will, as people are more aware of the technology and all the benefits it can bring, and it is bringing already. Travis, we really appreciate you joining us for today's SPE Tech Talk on revolutionizing efficiency with automated flowback tech and advancements. I'm pretty sure people would like to ask more about this technology. How should they get in contact with you to learn more?
Yeah, no, absolutely. LinkedIn. And then also we provided my email address here at TETRA as well. So feel free to reach out with any questions.
That is great. Thanks again, Travis, and special thanks to today's sponsor, TETRA. Watch a replay of this episode on the SPE Energy Stream, the industry's digital pulse. Visit streaming.spe.org. I'm your host, Carol Nachle. Join us again next time right here on SPE Tech Talk.
Don't miss a moment of any of the great SPE LinkedIn Live events. From the event page, click Attend and add to calendar for notification reminders when an SPE LinkedIn Live event is ready to begin. SPE Lives, Tech Talks, Get to Know series, and more. Remember, click Attend on LinkedIn.
In a rapidly evolving energy industry, you need to stay ahead of the curve with relevant content available when and where it's convenient for you. You need the upgraded SPE Energy Stream, the global platform for high-quality content with the energy industry. Fuel your energy career with Energy Stream's sleek new look and easy access to top-quality technical solutions, insights and innovations, trending topics, thought leadership, market outlooks, and education. From original programs to exclusive SPE event highlights, this exciting, easy-to-navigate platform features insightful content delivered live and on demand. Explore insights from industry thought leaders. Then save the videos that interest you and watch them at your convenience. Be at the forefront of energy knowledge and explore the newly updated SPE Energy Stream now.
The Society of Petroleum Engineers presents SPE Tech Talk. Today's Tech Talk is brought to you by TETRA,